Hey y'all, it's Brutal Dan.
And it's Banana Chan. Welcome to Spooky Asian Club.
Ooh. Wow, the finale.
We're so good at this.
We're so good.
Oh my god.
Spooky Asian Club is your new favorite horror podcast where we slice into the intersections of Asian stories, scary movies, pop culture, and more from our creepy little perspectives.
I can't believe we remembered that.
I can't believe either.
I don't remember my lines. I'm just going to read off the paper.
Yeah.
And in this episode, for the finale, we're doing a retrospective of all the movies that we had discussed over the season. But before we get into that, hey, Danny.
Yeah.
Why don't we discuss what creeped you out recently? I'm pointing at the audience.
Spooked.
Oh, sorry.
Spooky Asian Club, not Creepy Asian Club.
Oh, yeah, I typed out creep. Oh, my God.
Wait, what if season 2 is Creepy Asian Club?
Isn't that, like, problematic?
I think
Would
so.
that make us sound problematic?
Yeah, because we're creepy people.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. What spooked you out recently, audience?
Well, we do have this tomb of stories.
We do have a tomb, so I'm going to lift up the tomb, and I'm going to let you choose one of the stories. These stories were submitted to us by our audience and our friends.
Friends of the pod.
Friends of the pod. And so we're just going to read through some of them.
Yeah. We're also going to speculate, so
yes.
we have to figure out what's going on in
yes.
these. Is this ASMR?
Is this ASMR?
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to keep drinking.
So this one is from Tim O. There is one serious, but there's also one that's very funny. So we'll start off with the serious one first.
Okay.
Tim says, when we first moved into our house, one of our dogs would lose her mind barking at the guest bedroom at about 20 till midnight, every night for several months. Eventually, she stopped, probably because we just stopped staying up that late. My kid lives there now and hasn't reported anything specifically, but believes in ghosts, despite not really being exposed to them in media. And a friend who claimed to be attuned to that type of thing said that they saw an old woman in our kitchen.
No. I think it's someone that just broke in. What if it's like an old lady that just broke into their house and does this for fun?
But what about the dog?
The dog.
I feel like dogs.
Yeah.
They're sensory.
Yeah, the dog probably, or maybe the dog. You know how sometimes dogs just like to bark because they're like in 101 Dalmatians. they bark to talk to other dogs.
So the dog was talking to something. What if it was the old woman outside of the window?
Yeah, the dog was talking to her.
Saying, Cruella, get in.
Yes, please come in. Welcome to our house.
What if, is this, this is just 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, but why would the dog want Cruella in? Maybe he was saying, stay out, Cruella.
Oh, right, stay out, Cruella. Of course, that would make more sense. But
then Cruella
came into the house.
In the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
What was she hungry for?
She was hungry for... I don't know. What was she hungry for, Danny?
I don't know. That is a vile woman. Anyways. There's also a funny one that Tim left. This one says, we bought washable diapers secondhand, and this same dog was barking nonstop at them in the laundry room. So, I was getting tired of this, moved the drying rack outside of our house, but I didn't think that was where I put them to be visible from the backyard. The next time the dogs went outside, this dog immediately found the diapers and let out one of the most beleaguered howl I've ever heard. Is that a word?
Wait, where are we reading? Beleaguered?
That is an SAT word.
Yeah, that feels like an SAT word.
So I'm assuming it's like a wild howl.
We'll check the dictionary after.
Marcus, put a definition of beleaguered in
just
this.
Like right here.
Ding! So this most beleaguered howl I've ever heard, and then laid flat on her belly, trembling. I had to get her inside by carrying her. I've never seen a dog so scared. We referred to this incident as the diaper ghost.
The diaper ghost! Oh
so this same dog is attuned, I think.
Well, so Tim mentioned that there are multiple dogs, it sounds like.
Yeah, but only this one was...
Only this one dog.
There could be 99 dogs in a house, and this one dog is attuned to ghosts.
Yeah.
You just need one dog to believe.
You just need one dog to believe in ghosts.
So, I mean, that one's also kind of scary because these washable diapers secondhand could be cursed.
That's true.
That's a premise to a lot of horror movies.
Okay, so the dog definitely senses stuff, can see ghosts. The other dog, maybe not as good at ghost hunting.
Just a good boy.
Just a good boy.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Sometimes it's fine to just not,
Dang.
I don't know, go above and beyond your means, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this dog, I don't know.
Tim, have you ever maybe try to monetize your dog?
Yeah.
Your dog could have its own haunted house show, I think.
Yeah, haunted house show, or like, you know how there are bed bug sniffers? Like bed bug sniffing dogs?
No, I've heard of bomb sniffing dogs.
Oh, there's like bed bug sniffing dogs. So like
dogs can do everything.
They really can. So like if you have think that you have bed bugs.
Yeah.
Which this has happened to me once before. Not here. Like, not now. Not today. But, like, this has happened to me before. Where I thought I had bed bugs. And so I called up the bed bug people. And they brought a beagle in. And the beagle was, like, sniffing everywhere.
Oh.
And, like, every so often it would stop and be like, ah. I just, like, made a really weird sound. But, like, yeah. It would stop.
So it was bed bugs?
No.
Oh.
It was... it was something else. It was like
a ghost.
No, we had something else. They don't know what. Yeah, they think we had spiders. Like it was like a weird type of spider.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the beagle sensed it.
The beagle sensed it, so it could sense more than just bed bugs.
Mm.
It can also sense ghosts.
All of that to say,
yeah,
is that your dog might be onto something.
Right.
Tim.
Yeah.
We forgot to cut this one out, but we have an extra credit on this piece of paper too.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's from Only Features. Only Features says, one night I was really high and minding my own business at the computer when I heard a weird ripping sound. It was slow and loud. It filled my room and it came in bursts. Some small, some larger. And it lasted for about 10 seconds.
Ripping sounds. I thought you were going to rip that paper for a second. That's what it sounded like. That's what the ghost sounded like. Yeah.
Wow. Foley
Yeah.
artist.
Foley artist. They paid for that.
So I also, if y'all listen to episode 1 or 2, I also talked about an experience about being on a computer and a ghost throwing something across the room.
Yeah.
There was no sounds though, other than the crashing, but...
Right. Like, do you think this is a... First of all, do you think this is a ghost that's angry?
Well, it was ripping something.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been... I don't know. I feel like ripping isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah. Like
what are things you would rip when you're not mad?
Like receipts.
Yeah. Safety.
Yeah.
Personal safety.
Yeah, personal safety. Maybe this ghost is really invested in personal safety.
Yeah.
What else do you rip?
You also rip tides, like surfers rip. Right?
That was not what I expected you to say at all. I didn't think you were gonna say
I don't know if it would sound like that.
I agree.
Maybe it was just like a very concentrated surfboard going through water inside of...
In a house?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Only Features could also have been just very high.
That's true.
You know, sometimes you get high and you start seeing sounds. And...
That's true. And like, you know, maybe the ripping sound was caused by them.
Just taking a
just
huge
like,
draw.
oh my God,
yeah.
what was that sound?
Rip. But for 10 seconds, the 10 seconds is kind of unnerving though.
Also, is it ripping a bong? Like, is that what they meant?
I don't think so. Well, maybe. But it came in short bursts, short and large bursts.
Yeah.
But I feel like noises is like a one-off noise is kind of like, oh, you know, a squirrel dropped something, but 10 seconds is kind of unnerving.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe the ghost was just trying to get high with you.
Maybe. Or maybe the ghost is trying to freak you out. I feel like ghosts do that.
Tim needs to bring the dog
Yes.
to this bedroom and see if it barks.
Start a business.
Start a
has to
business.
happen.
We'll figure it out. All right.
Want to go to the next
Yeah,
one?
next one.
All right. All right. The next one is from Cutest Patoot.
Mm-hmm.
This is from a long time ago, but I walked down the hallway and saw my partner sitting on the couch in the living room. Usually I'd say something to acknowledge them, but I had a weird feeling, so I kept walking to the kitchen, grabbed my snack, and headed back only to see my partner walk out of the office where they couldn't have gotten to from the living room without me seeing them, on the entire other end of the apartment, and had apparently been for half an hour already. The next 2 nights, I woke up to clearly hear them trying to get my attention in the dark, but when I turned on my light, I was alone in the bedroom each time, door closed, because they hadn't come to the bed yet.
Dang.
Very proud for keeping my mouth shut and not replying. Skull emoji, salute emoji. Def creeped me out, though.
Dang. So Angel is a friend of mine. Angel is a awesome indigenous creator and podcaster as well. Friend of the pod. That is kind of scary because doppelgangers?
Oh my god, doppelgangers. It could be
Doppelgangers?
doppelgangers, time travel.
Time travel?
Yeah.
I think it's very weird.
I'm gonna have one of these.
Yeah, eat one.
Yeah.
I think it's very weird that it happened 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, that's wild.
The repeats are always scary. Because again, one-offs, maybe I had a very vivid dream. However, if you experience your partner trying to wake you up several times, twice in a row, oof.
So, what do you think of this? I'm gonna throw out like a what if, right? So, your partner is stuck in a time loop, and this keeps happening. Like you keep seeing like not necessarily ghosts, but ghosts of the past.
So it is their partner just stuck in the past.
Yeah, sort of like in this time loop. Yeah, but they're still moving forward. It's like a different version of them, like multiverse stuff.
And then after the 2 days, that timeline just caught up to the present timeline? Interesting. How do you explain the waking up and then not being there, though?
Oh yeah, good point. I don't know.
I think that might explain, like, the 2 places at once. Just a glitch in the timeline.
Yeah, it's a glitch in the timeline.
But I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
We've discussed presents where ghosts don't necessarily follow the same timelines we follow. So it could be that partner of the past is trying to, be mindful or tell them something. However, I do also feel that it was very smart that Angel did not respond or try to engage with. Because sometimes doppelgangers are tricksters and they're trying to get the response.
Like a succubus or an incubus or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. Smart to not talk to whatever
was going on.
that thing was.
Glad you're safe.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
By the way, this is from Gavin.
Thanks, Gav.
Thank you, Gavin, for the Prosecco.
All right. This one's from Annika. All right. So, in high school, I had this guy that I was working so hard to get him to break up with his girlfriend. I was not a good person in high school, but nobody was.
Oh, God, no.
We were in my room at night with the lights off and nothing but the moonlight coming through the windows. And he was crying on my shoulder about how he was ready to leave her. And then suddenly, I realized there's something moving in the reflection of the mirror on my closet door.
What?
After a minute, I realized it wasn't something moving in the reflection, but that the reflection was changing because the door was opening. Oh, I just got chills. Ew, I just got chills.
No!
I couldn't be like, hey man, shut the F up for a second, because it would have undone all of my underhanded, shitty hard work. So instead, I'm just sitting there terrified in silence as he cries, unaware of what's happening. A few hours go by and he falls asleep, but I'm trapped there and I don't want to wake him. Eventually, I fall asleep too, and of course, in the morning, there's nothing there or no proof of what could have moved it. To this day, I don't know what it was. I had cats at the time, but there was no way one was in my closet, especially because my bedroom door was closed and there wasn't a cat trapped in my room in the morning. I have no idea. I got chills on that one.
Yeah,
I got
me
chills
too.
on that one.
Oh my god, imagine something like living in your house and you didn't know about it.
Oof.
Actually, don't imagine that.
Don't imagine
that.
So the mirror jump scare in horror movies is a very tropey, like,
Yeah.
you know, you
Yeah.
look away, you look back, there's something there. What got me to chill is that when they realized that it wasn't a reflection, it was opening.
Right.
I think it is funny that, you know, we were all kind of horrible people and Annika was really trying to console then partner, even though it was for conniving ways. So if we're thinking maybe in a sense of like spiritual realms, this could have been a demon saying like, if you're gonna play tricks, I'm gonna play tricks.
Oh my god, so Annika called the demon.
Maybe.
Annika opened a portal.
Opened
into
the portal. The portal was a
freaking
closet. Yeah.
Oh my god. And
Yeah.
they stepped out and they were like, fuck this. Gonna play tricks.
Because it's like sometimes a theory of how ghosts or otherworldly beings come into our realm when the veil is most thin, when emotions come into play. So because the person was so sad,
Oh yeah.
breaking up, but then there's kind of like this vengeful side as well.
Oh my god.
There's like this sad, vengeful ghost that's like, I'm creeping out.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Because sadness needs company. And when there's other people that are sad or vengeful, then it's like, it's time to play.
Oof. Well, Annika, you released a demon into the world. Congratulations.
Yeah, good job. I'm so sorry. All right, so the next one is a long one. Why did I grab this one?
I don't know. Get comfy.
All right, so this is from the Rose Cleric. 2 summers ago, I visited Bisbee, Arizona with a partner for a little romantic weekend getaway.
Cute.
Bisbee is a former minor town that was revived by hippies, queers, and artists. It sits on top of mountains full of copper and crystal, which is likely the reason why there's so much activity. We booked a stay at the John Quill Motel, built in 1937.
Old.
They famously advertise themselves as not haunted, which you can probably imagine where the story is going. Anyways, we went on a ghost tour as the sun went down, and by the end of it, I was incredibly antsy because I could feel how heavy the energy was.
Oof.
We returned to the motel and turned in for the evening. I went right to sleep, but a few hours later, I woke up feeling uncharacteristically hot. I'm talking sweaty and suffocated. In pitch black darkness, I go to turn the air on. Mind you, the air is already blasting and it's 50 degrees outside because it's desert at night and it shouldn't be this hot. I try to go to sleep as my partner goes to the bathroom, but then I start to feel like I'm being watched. I refuse to look at him, but I could tell someone masculine was standing right in front of our bed. I don't say anything when my partner returns and I try my best to sleep, but I can't because I feel like I'm suffocating.
Oof.
I feel sparks around my heart as the pressure around my throat grows more palpable. It didn't feel like a panic attack. It just felt like I was melting into an unbearable heat. That's when I realized that the ghost is making me feel like this. I said a little prayer, and suddenly the pressure and heat alleviated. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, I was told that we had a visitor last night by my partner who had a history of communicating with ghosts. They chose to ignore him as they went to the bathroom because they were really tired. I felt a chill run down my spine. Why the hell was this ghost just watching us sleep? Why did he want to join or something? I don't know. Anyways, I did a little bit more research and made the connection that we had encountered the ghost of a miner. Around 380 miners were killed and thousands injured in the mines. Many of them shared apartments together, half the tenants working during the day, the other half working at night. A miner working the day shift would come home from a hot day in the mines. In many cases, there were only 2 beds in the apartment that housed 4, so they would just flip the shared bed over and pass out with no shower, which would cause the mattresses to get filthy. I had a feeling that we met the wandering spirit of a miner that tragically passed away from the suffocating heat of the mines, which could be hotter than 125 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, for anyone else who's watching. From outside the U.S. He was probably looking for a nice place to sleep and wanted to tell me his story. I cannot stress enough that having a sudden heat stroke on a cold night wasn't normal for me, and I never experienced what I felt before. It seems like a dream, but I remember it so vividly, it's undeniable, and my partner verified the ghost presence the morning after. Maybe next time I visit, I'll make sure no ghosts here claims are valid, but Bisbee is so famously haunted, that's going to be a difficult test.
Dang. So, multiple points. I think we have talked about how, with our 5 senses, the ghosts can inhabit these, or like if it's from a paranormal realm.
Yeah.
Normally, though, I feel like when I watch these shows or like paranormal investigators, it's always the drop in temperature or you feel a cold chill.
Yeah.
So the fact that because it's so relatable of like this miner being in the heat and that's kind of scary.
Yeah. I like that they thought that it was the miner telling them that, you know, that they want to tell their story.
Yeah.
Like the miner wanted to tell a story and they were just like, I died like from a heat stroke or whatever, and I need you to feel that pain, burden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that way, like, you know how I felt before I died. Which, I mean, is kind of passive aggressive, but at the same time, it's like,
I feel like I would be a passive aggressive ghost because they don't have a lot of means to communicate. I'm assuming.
That's true. It's
like,
true.
It's just not like you can't just talk.
Right. The ghost rules in this are like the only way that you can communicate is by making the other person feel like shit.
Yeah. And I do feel like, I mean, it's a very, the story is a very, like location based too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like everything kind of aligns.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's like verifiable, like the partner brought it up for no reason.
Right.
That's, I mean,
I believe it.
I believe it too. I honestly do feel like though, like the whole why were they watching? But like maybe it was because they weren't responding to the temperature change. And they're like, oh, I need to make it hotter. I need to, like, why are they not feeling what I'm feeling?
Yeah, maybe they were just like, wake the fuck up.
Wake up, yeah.
Wake up, we need help. I need help.
That was a good story.
That was a good story.
Dang. So this next one is from Super Nerd Tendo. So,
good name.
Years ago on a family trip to Ireland, we visited Wicklow Gaol, supposedly haunted prison. On the tour I was passing, As I was passing a cell on the upper floor, I heard, "Hey kid," coming from it. No one was in the small cell, and the only thing from this century was a floodlight and an extension cord, period. An extension cord. The next story. I once got lost at night, so I pulled out my GPS to go home, and it brought me to a house in a wooded clearing, and it said, "You've arrived at your destination." As the lights in the house turned on, my immediate thought was, I'm white, but I'm not that white, as I left, ready to live in my car till I found the highway.
Is that the end of the story?
That's the end of the story.
What? Are they still alive?
I think they're still alive.
Okay.
I think they're still alive. They're alive enough to respond to
Oh,
this.
yeah, that's true.
So the first one was from the Wicklow Gaol, the prison.
Okay.
The Hey Kid.
Hey, kid. You know how, did you ever go to Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia?
Mm-mm.
So they sometimes put video, I'm not saying that this didn't happen, but they do sometimes put like weird audio recordings to like make it sound like there's like prisoners still living in these prisons or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if this place was advertised as like a haunted prison.
That's true.
So it could be.
Maybe.
Still unexplainable. But it says the only thing was a floodlight and an extension cord. So,
oh yeah, that's true. So so it wasn't built to look like a haunting, like a haunted place. It was like, it was just haunted.
Yeah.
It was just regular haunted.
Also, the GPS one is kind of creepy to me. Because that's like a ghost haunting tech, which is
oh my God.
kind of aligned to some of the themes that we've talked about.
Yeah, have you seen all those YouTube videos of people who have like the cars with the GPS, and on some of the screens, I'm not going to name which car company has it, but some of the screens, they tell you if there's like a person standing in front of you or around the car, and you see like a silhouette of like a figure, and there are people like posting videos of like these figures standing all around the cars, but like when you look around, there's no one there.
Dang.
Do you think it's the same situation?
I don't know. So this took Super Nintendo to a different location and said you've arrived. So what if the ghost was like taking them to a location that they wanted them to be at, and then the lights turn on and then they ran away? I would run. I think
I would run.
I would run.
I would run. No, screw that. I don't want any.
And especially if you're like in the middle of the woods. I don't know.
That's terrifying. I hate it.
I hate it too.
I'm gonna take this one. This one's small. This one's short. Let's see what this is. This is from Arcanum Dice. Arcanum Dice? Arcanum Dice. My childhood church was haunted by a spectral shadow figure. Many people saw it.
Short and concise.
I like it.
It's interesting that a church has spectral shadows that many people saw and they still go to church. Well, let me not get into that. But
would it make you believe more?
That's what I'm saying. Like, which way would it push you towards?
I feel like if I saw I don't think it would push me anywhere.
You'd just be like, oh, ghost.
Oh, ghost, yeah. Like, ghost is a normal thing. I mean, like, not that it's a normal thing. I'm saying that, like, oh, ghosts exist. But, like, I don't think that ghosts are attached to a religion.
That's true. I guess in my mind, if ghosts were real, it would maybe disprove this idea of a heaven and hell.
Oh, okay.
Because I assume that's what a lot of religions believe, is that after you die, there's judgment, and then you either go to heaven or you go to hell. But now there's spectral shadows everywhere.
Right. Okay. All right.
So I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But maybe this is a different church. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
What do they believe?
I don't know. Maybe they believe.
Would you go back to church after you saw that?
It depends. Like, how many spectral figures are we talking about?
I think they said a spectral
just
figure.
One. If it's just one.
But multiple people saw it over multiple times, I think.
Well, okay, if it's just one, and it's like many people, it's like, okay, listen. It's like multiple living people versus one spectral figure. That's not...
You're saying let's gang up on the spectral... We're gonna fight the spectral figure with our fists?
But if it came down to it, right? Like, we're safe. I think we're fine. If it's multiple spectral figures.
Last words.
I'm just saying, if you're in a room, if you're in a church and there's like 50 spectral figures and there's only like 10 of you, like, no, don't go back to church.
But if there's just one, there could be 50 spectral figures in a room. But all you need is just one.
It's just one.
To scare the hell out of you. I don't know. I feel like that's like a good plot. Like, oh yeah, the hubris of humans saying we can take down this single spectral figure, and then hell ensues.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Great story.
Great story. All right. Oh, I think there's one. You want me to do the long one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here
Open that one up.
Here, I'll have it. Wait, there's another one.
There's a hidden one.
There's a
Okay.
hidden one. Okay.
We have a few more stories. All right, this one's from Anonymous.
Ooh.
Scary.
Anonymous.
I hate an Anonymous. I'm just kidding. I love Anonymous. Okay. All right. In the 80s, my mother was living in an apartment with 4 friends in northeastern United States. She was dating a man with a twin. The first time he came over to visit, that's when weird stuff started happening. Cups sliding off of tables with no winds or earthquakes or cats to speak of. Doors slamming, lights flashing, and the faint sound of a piano and violin music. This freaked my mom's boyfriend out, and he didn't stay often when he came to visit. His greater unease was perhaps unrelated to the ghost, however. As time went on, he became increasingly convinced that something bad was going to happen. Then, I just got chills, sorry. I read ahead. Then, his brother was murdered.
Oh my god!
By a stranger. It wasn't premeditated. In the wake of the murder and the funeral, he and my mother broke up. It just wasn't working out, and maybe her apartment was too spooky. My mom spent weeks miserable.
Oh.
She left the house only for work and other necessities, and she was losing sleep. Her friends thought it was because of her grief over the breakup and the loss of a friend, but the reality was the noises and the lights in her room have gotten worse. The piano music and the violin music crescendoed over her while she attempted to sleep. Though her window was far away from any outside light source, her room was so bright that she could comfortably read. Ooh. After weeks of this, my mother's friend decided to take her on a surprise vacation. There, she met a hotel musician who would become my father.
Oh.
They started dating. He would come over and also experience the weird lights and the music. Months later, they moved in together, which meant my mom had to move out of the haunted apartment.
Oh, thank God.
The day she went to the landlord to drop off her keys, my father, a superstitious man, asked the landlord, "Who lived in this apartment before you rented it out?" It was a family apartment. And that back room, who used to stay there? That would be my grandmother. Funny, she died in there, actually. My dad asked, "She didn't happen to be a musician, did she?" "Oh, yes. Piano and violin."
No!
If this grandmother hadn't haunted my mother, she would have never gone on that vacation and met my father, and I would have never been born.
Okay, so are we to... I'm sorry.
Woo!
That's like...
Anonymous!
Oh my
That's a
God.
lot.
Are we to assume that the grandmother convinced a stranger to murder the first guy's brother?
So if we think about if everything is fate-based...
Yes.
So in this ghost logic situation...
Yes.
If everything is fate-based, then yes.
This grandmother is like, I'm sick of telenovelas. I'm gonna make my own drama.
I love it. I love grandmas that have a point of view.
Oh my God.
It's also very cute that the grandma who was a musician had the mom meet a musicion. I think that's kind of cute.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I think that's kind of
she had something in on this. Do you want more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I don't know, the idea of the twin brother, that was jarring.
That
Could
was
be
jarring.
completely unrelated. Also, the fact that, you know, won't get into relationship talk.
Okay.
But if you're willing to invest your life, let's say, I mean, of course, we don't know where they were at in the dating thing.
Right.
But if you were dating someone and they were saying, "Hey, weird stuff's happening," wouldn't you want to be there for them? Or
That's true.
Try to tackle it a little bit?
Yeah, and then maybe the grandmother was like, okay, there's something wrong with this guy. Like,
Yeah.
she's been testing him this entire time.
Yeah, and he didn't do
Did not.
anything.
Yeah, hate him.
He didn't pass the test.
Right.
But the dad musician did. Or the vacation dad musician.
Yeah, because they have a kinship. They're both musicians.
Dang. This was a fun story.
That was a fun story,
I mean,
despite the murder.
Despite the murder, not that part, but I mean, it is like, as humans, we do like to associate, like this happened because this happened. Everything happens for a reason. And I think this is a happy ending.
I think it's a happy ending too. It worked out for them.
It worked out. Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one that's already open. This is from Glitchy Pixie.
Mm-hmm.
Worked at a popular ice cream chain my senior year of high school and was straight up told 2 of the employees used a Ouija board in the walk-in freezer, and ever since, things have inexplicably flown off the shelves, which were designed to not have that happen, to hit people on the head. Lo and behold, every time I was alone washing dishes in the back past midnight, shit was falling off the shelf, often hitting me in the head. The only place things did not fly off the shelves was the walk-in freezer where the seance was held. Oh my god.
Oof.
So what do you think? What do you think happened there?
So, I love a juxtaposition of setting versus creep.
Yeah.
Because a haunted ice cream shop is very cute to me.
It is.
Because you're like, what happened?
camp.
Like, maybe someone got locked in the freezer. They died too young, but now they're just like, I want to live my life.
Yeah.
Somebody noticed me.
Yeah.
I do wish we had more information on the 2 coworkers that wanted to do a seance in the walk-in freezer.
It was us.
It was us. It was us in another timeline.
It was actually us. Oops.
Have you ever used a Ouija board?
I have.
Yeah.
So, before this, I have a friend who was actually going to submit a story.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to tell a story about how we were at a house convention. And somehow, me and a group of people summoned something. And we don't know what that something is, but my friend has sort of like can feel stuff, like can sort of sense stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like is psychic because I don't want to speak on their behalf, but they do like sense things, right? And so during the entire stay, shit started getting weird. So like we had the lights go off, the power went out for a bit, and so we were like, oh, we're just having a great time. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll play like anchovies, that game where you're like, or sardines where you're all like, it's like reverse hide and seek.
Oh, gotcha.
So like, power's out, let's play sardines.
Yeah.
And then we noticed that there were a lot of flies like in the house, and so we put out fly traps, and like when the fly traps were out, you could see it was lined with flies, and we were like, what is going on? So my friend was like, hey, Banana, there's like a really tall and scary looking man behind you, like just standing behind you. Let's go out in the woods and I'll cleanse you. And so they did that, and things were fine for me. I don't know about the house. I don't know about the, anything else, but like, I'm fine.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had this experience with a Ouija board, so you know things could possibly be summoned.
Yeah.
So do you feel that these 2 coworkers summoned
Yes.
something?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you played with a Ouija board?
I've never used a Ouija board yet.
Okay.
Maybe on the Patreon.
Give us enough money and we will summon a demon.
However, I don't know, like, so let's say a demon spirit, something was called from the afterlife, from this freezer.
Yeah.
Now, this person that may have died in the freezer or died on the land before is now can leave the freezer, let's say, and now starting to knock things off. What, from an ice cream shop perspective, what would you speculate this person is trying to get the attention of?
Oh, that's a good question. It depends on what they summoned, right?
I guess.
Imagine if they actually summoned a demon and it's like a trickster demon and they're just like playing tricks. That's like
true.
Whatever.
That's true. What if the demon was lactose intolerant and was like,
God,
we need more non-dairy options?
I mean, I can get behind that, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Lactose intolerance is
Yeah.
rampant in the Asian community.
Yeah. They had something to say.
It was us. We summoned ourselves from another life because we were lactose intolerant and we were trying to make a statement.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
No, yeah. We did it.
Next one. Last one. Oh. Yeah. Thank you for everybody who submitted these. This was fun.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, maybe we should do more on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is from Adam G. or Karloff 0734.
Ooh.
I was house sitting in an old cottage by the sea. What a opening statement.
What?
What an opening statement. I was house sitting in an old cottage by the sea. The wind was kicking into high gear. Not quite a hurricane, but hurricane adjacent. Everything was shut up tight. I was the only person in the house. I was sleeping in what was the main bedroom at the time. It's been remodeled since, and had been since the place was built way back when. The beds were original to the period, too. Old cedar frames that set up between 4 to 5 foot off the floor. No other house nearby. Winds in high gear, so the ocean was roaring like lions outside of the bedroom window. And then I hear a voice. Oh my God. Please come in.
Okay, so, wait, please come in.
Come in?
Come in where?
You're already in.
Yeah, you're already in. So what does that mean? Who do you think it is?
Old cottage by the sea? It was probably a sea witch.
A sea witch telling you to come in, but you're already inside.
Please come in.
Come in where?
That's the real mystery.
Yeah. So, okay. This is a sea witch.
Sea witch?
Sea witch telling you.
Summoned a storm to get some words out.
Right. And those were the words they chose to say?
Please come in.
Do you think there's like another meaning behind this sentence?
I mean, I can think of a couple.
A
lonely sea witch at an old cottage. A strapping man is watching over her old property. I mean, that's kind of hot. No, please come in. And you're already in the house.
Yeah.
So, I talked about this book, Incidents Around the House, in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Where you see the perspective of a ghost, demon, something from the child's perspective. And they were known as Other Mommy.
Yeah.
Other Mommy would ask this child, let me into your heart. So maybe it was like, please come into my world. Yeah, my world. Like,
okay. That's messed up.
Would you say yes?
Well, it depends, I think. Like, is it better than this world? What do I get out of it? Like, okay, so what would it take for you to go there? This other world that you know nothing about.
Please come in. Hurricane adjacent winds outside, a little rickety, a little scary, nobody else around. If I was very lonely, not saying they were very lonely, but if I was lonely and I had no other option, I'd be like, okay, where are you at?
Sure.
Because she didn't say come in forever.
That's true.
So if she came in to this cottage, maybe I can go into her cottage and see what's up.
Like in the movie Talk to Me.
Oh
my God. That'd be terrifying. Honestly, I don't know if I would go.
Well, Talk to Me was getting dragged into hell a little bit.
That's true. But like, what if that's the situation?
I was imagining kind of more of a, Narnia situation.
Oh, okay.
Where like she said, like she's at the door and she's like this ghostly specter and she says, "Please come in." You walk through the door and the cottage is the same, but now you're in like a different realm.
You got a 50-50 chance. It's either hell or Narnia.
I mean,
are you gonna take the chance?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a risk taker. I'm a Capricorn.
I know. I'm a risk taker. I'm a Leo. And on that note, let's take a break.
Hey listener, this is Banana in the future. Just wanted to give you a heads up that there will be spoilers for the movies that we're going to be talking about today. So if you don't want to listen to any spoilers, then I would suggest that you watch the movie first and then come back and listen to the episode. All right, back to the show.
All right, so this section now, we didn't watch any movies for this one. I mean, we watched a whole bunch of movies.
Yes.
But for this section, we kind of wanted to do an overview a little bit of all the movies we watched in the first inaugural season of Spooky Asian Club. And we watched a lot of different Asian movies. We watched some adaptations. But I kind of want to throw some hypotheticals at you that kind of like mash all of these different themes and these kind of different monsters that we encountered throughout. So let's go through the movies real quick. So we watched The Ring.
We watched The Ring, Ju-on, Sadako versus Kayako, Incantation, One Missed Call, 13B, Tumbbad, and Versus.
Okay. So my first kind of hypothetical, and you can throw these back at me if you want to.
Okay.
So I enjoyed Sadako versus Kayako.
Okay.
However, I wanted more interaction between the two. So, thinking about all of these monsters that we have encountered this season, what two ghosts / demons / entities would you want to meet? Or meet up?
Oh, you want them to meet up?
It's a verse. It's verses.
It's a verses. Okay. So they're doing the verses.
They're doing the verses.
Not us doing the verses.
We're not fighting them. But, as we saw in the movie, we might be caught in between.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's like a... All right. So we're the people that are caught in between a Sadako versus Kayako situation, but with two different characters.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really like 13B's family. Like the family in the sitcom type situation. So I think it'd be really cool to have like a sitcom style horror movie. So you have the family that's in the sitcom versus, I'm gonna think of one. I think I kind of want to see them like go head to head with The Ring. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Okay, so...
Because it's already very similar,
It's similar. So, when you say The Ring, like, is that Sadako specifically, or this idea that this family can be passed around like a curse?
I kind of want Sadako to live in, like, a sitcom for, like, a day.
They adopted her.
But, like, things... like, so they're creating a curse together. It's like a family that passes on curses. So it's not just Sadako alone.
That's true. She needs a family.
She needs a family. She just has to find her family, and then she'll be fine. And 13B's family is that...
I feel like they're a good family.
Yeah, they are a good family.
Yeah.
What about you? Which one would you put together?
So I know this might be recency bias, but we most recently watched Versus. So I'm thinking this portal, the zombies have awakened. So you have these zombies with guns and swords.
Yes.
Versus the god from Tumbbad. What was his name? Do you remember?
Oh, Haster?
Haster.
All the Hasters?
All the Hasters.
Oh my god!
Versus all of the zombies.
Actually, that'd be really fun.
So in this hypothetical situation,
Yeah.
we have been tasked in our mortal realm to be able to get money, the gold from Haster. Okay.
Yeah.
But we need to bring this gold through one of the 666 portals, 444 portals.
666.
666.
Yeah. That's the 444th portal.
Oh, that was the 444th.
Yeah.
So we have to bring the gold to the 445th portal. So we have to somehow lure these reincarnated zombies with guns and samurai swords down into the goddess's womb to fight Haster so that we can get the gold and get out.
And also, what do we find in the goddess's womb but another goddess from Incantation? How messed up would that be? If it's just like infinite terror.
Infinite terror. What would the goddess be in the womb? Is it goddess versus goddess now? Like on a bigger picture?
Oh, that could be fun.
So now you have this like goddess that keeps gods in their womb versus a locked away priestess? Well, I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it could be terrifying because it's like the womb itself in Tumbbad was like scary.
Yeah.
It was like all red. It was like literally like flesh.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Yeah, but like why is the goddess / priestess from Incantation in that womb?
Oh, I figured it's just like a space that they lock them away. Because like you're locking Hastur away in the womb, right?
Okay.
Like what if the priests were like, what if that town was like, hey, we should lock her away somewhere that's even
harder to get to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you get down into the womb, right? And you're hanging out there, you think things are fine, but then there's a freaking scary ass god with all these weird trypophobia things on her face.
Dang.
But not only that, you have a billion Hasturs coming at you.
And then we have to bring in the zombies.
Yeah, and the zombies are there too.
They're
all
just
in the
shooting
womb.
and slicing.
Yeah, they're all in the womb.
And then what?
And then, I mean, you're there for money, so you're trying to
then
get all the Hastur's loincloth. So you're trying to pull a Hastur's loincloth.
And then we get a call.
And then we get a call.
And a voicemail.
Oh my god.
And it's us telling ourselves not to go into the womb, but we're already halfway down.
Oh no.
And then you just hear a bang, a slash, and a click.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. We're stuck in the womb. We have to go through it.
Well, I was going to say we're protected by the flower, but only for the Hasturs.
Only for the Hasturs. We're not protected. Oh, we'll have to bring flour and mirrors.
And mirrors. Okay. And guns.
And guns. So we'll have like a floor-length mirror.
Yeah.
We'll just carry it around with us.
Carry it around.
Or we strap it to our backs. If we strap it to our backs...
And then stand back to back.
Stand back to back.
Flower circle around us.
Wait, it wouldn't make any sense if we were back.
Well, we need the mirrors to be...
Oh, right. Wait.
reflected outward.
Okay, so wait. So, okay. If I'm standing with my mirror on my back.
Oh, the mirror's on your back. Sorry.
The mirror's on our back,
I thought we
so
were
we would have to like look at each
Oh,
other. But then we
true.
can't see anything.
But we can see behind us a little bit.
Maybe. What if... Okay, so what... Actually, this is very hard to accomplish.
What
if we had handheld mirrors?
Where are we going to hold our guns?
Oh, yeah. Well, one hand has a gun, and then the other hand has a mirror.
And then what?
And then we shoot the zombies, right? We got the zombies down, and the mirrors are for the goddess.
Yeah.
The priestess.
She sees herself.
She's scary.
Yeah.
But like, she sees herself and she'll be like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
I don't know.
Because, didn't she have a cloth on her face too?
Yeah, we need to like put something to obscure her face.
Yeah. So we have cloth, we have the mirrors, we have what else is she scared of? I can't think of anything. But we have flour for sure. We're just flinging flour everywhere. I feel like this could work.
The last piece of the puzzle is our upper body and core strength. To climb back up.
Oh my god, I have none of that.
I know, it's so
screwed.
hard.
And
How
we
do
have
we
all
get
this
up?
crap on us.
We have
too.
so much on us. But we have all of Hastur's gold that will stop the 445th portal. How do we get up?
Okay. We bring in another person.
Who?
A pack mule. This person will be someone that we don't like from another movie. Who do we hate from all these movies? Who'd you not like the most?
The person, in 13B, the one that caused, the doctor that caused all the problem.
We'll bring the doctor.
How do we convince the doctor?
The doctor.
Well, the doctor's now stuck in the phone for the rest of the...
Yes!
So then we call him.
We call the doctor.
While we're down there and say...
Hey, we need some help. Can you come with us to a goddess's womb and, bring some stuff. Bring some supplies. We heard you like money.
What?
Did he like money?
I don't think he liked money. I think he just wanted revenge for his brother.
Oh, well, we could get that vengeance for your brother
If
you come with us down to this womb. We'll just make up some lies.
Yeah.
We'll make up some lies and we'll get him down there.
Technically, I think he's stuck in the phone. Because he's kind of like the new curse.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. We bring down a TV into the womb, right?
Okay.
We got a TV in the womb. We got the tape.
Mm-hmm.
We summon Sadako versus everything else. So Sadako will fight everyone for us. And then we just make our way back up. Like in Sadako versus Kayako.
I know, but that was my grudge against that movie because Kayako didn't get screen time until the last 10 minutes.
I see what you did there.
That's big brain. So but I guess we can't really get Kayako in it unless we lure everybody into the house.
Okay, what if we bring the TV, we lower the TV slowly so that way we don't have to carry it. We lower the TV down into the womb.
Uh-huh.
We press play.
Yeah.
Because we have a remote control. We'll press
yeah.
play. We play the video for all of the Hasters to see. We throw a doll down, right? Like one of those flower dolls down. Haster has to watch the entire video, and Haster gets cursed.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then, that's as far as I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we pull the TV back up. Haster's pissed.
Yeah.
But
he's cursed. He's got
cursed.
7 days to live.
He's got 7 days. So he has to pass on the curse. So he has to show the video that we have on this TV that we're just yanking up.
Yes.
So then he's chasing us to get the TV.
Is he though?
Does he want to die in 7 days?
Do you think he knows how to... What if we don't tell him the cure? Because that's assuming that he knows what the cure is.
I'm just trying to figure out a way for my girl, Kayako, to be involved in this story.
Kayako. Okay, so. We move the well into the house.
We physically move it.
Actually, we might not be able to move the womb, now that I'm thinking about it, because it's an entire womb.
Wait, there's 2 wells, though. So if we dig deep enough through the goddess's womb, down into the well of...
But that's Sadako's well.
I know, but they got Kayako in there somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, are we assuming that it's Sadako versus Kayako amalgamation in this story? Because if it is, then I'm assuming she's, like, easier to, like, move around.
Okay, yeah.
We could just, like...
Okay.
Ask her, hey, can you please go to this other well instead?
Can you please? Girl, can you please?
Girl, can you please? Like, this is the one time.
We're trying to get a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. So we get her into the well.
Okay.
And then she can fight all the Hasters.
And then we take all the money.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we just bring it to the portal.
Profit.
And then, boom, we throw the money into the portal.
Yeah.
You see us cheering, we high five. Credits cut, but end credit scene. 500 years later, we are now the monarchs of a underwater, outer space, steampunk monster ranch that we run, that we send these monsters out into the universe.
Honestly, though, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
We became the villains.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's kind of a cool job.
It is kind of cool. We got Haster's loincloth.
Whatever. Dang. All right. Well, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Unhinged. So this is our last segment of Slaughterboxed for this season.
Oh my god.
So remember, Slaughterboxed is a game that we put together where we find unhinged reviews and you at home have to guess the ratings. However, because it's the finale, this time we made our own unhinged reviews.
Yes.
And we have to try to guess each other's ratings. And I will say, I am a user of Letterboxd. And not to metagame things, but for me, a 3-star review is a good movie. A 4-star review is I tell people they must watch it. And a 5-star review is like, I love. Like,
you live
it's one of my favorite movies, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, just to preface with that, because I do use it as a way for me to track my movies.
Oh,
so Letterboxd, if you're watching and you want to sponsor this podcast.
We love money.
We love money, and we love your application. I love your application.
I love it too. I'm always on it.
Okay.
I also use it for the same thing. And I only ever put down like high ratings for things I really, really love.
Okay.
So yeah.
Not to metagame things, okay.
Not to metagame.
We're going to start from our very first movie that we reviewed, The Ring. So this is the 1998 Japanese version. I think we're going to do the original version of all of these movies.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, I wrote, I think this movie might be one of the reasons millennials hate answering a phone call nowadays.
That's really true. I mean, I hate answering a phone call.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Imagine if it's freaking Sadako trying to curse you.
Right, exactly. Or like a tax collector.
Or tax collector.
Which is basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. That is truth-telling right there. I'm going to say 4 stars.
Remember, we have the half-star rule. This was a 3.5-star review.
Wow.
3.5 stars.
Okay. This is a lot harder than I thought
I
it would
know.
be. Even though like you're sitting right there, I'm just like thinking, oh, this will be easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
The next one we have is Ju-on, and I wrote, haunted houses are recession-proof.
It's so true though. So one of my favorite characters in Ju-on the Grudge was the real estate agent.
Yes!
Because he saw that tub of black water, gets grabbed, and then doesn't say anything and sells the house.
He doesn't care. He just wants that money.
He's us.
Yeah, he is. He's living through a recession.
I feel like this is a good one. I'm going to say this is a 3.5-star review.
It's 4.5.
4.5, dang.
I rated it really high.
That's a good, I did enjoy that one. Iconic movie. All right. Next one. This one is Sadako versus Kayako. So, use context clues because we just created a brand new movie.
We did.
I think instead of always pitting women against each other, more people would be interested in this movie if there was a real lesbian subplot.
So I did not see a lesbian subplot in the movie. I did see them joining forces to create a whole new character.
What's more lesbian than that?
Maybe that is a lesbian subplot. Maybe I'm just missing. I missed it.
Have you seen Steven Universe?
That's true. That's totally true. So maybe I just like completely missed it, and now I'm just seeing it. Now my eyes are opened, and now I'm finally understanding what the true meaning of Sadako versus Kayako is. It is pure feminism. Oh God. Okay. So like, if you're saying that this is actually what happened, and you are for that, then I think it's a high rating. But if you think that it didn't happen and you wanted it to happen, then that's a disappointing review. So, oh God, I think it's the first one because it did happen and I missed the mark. And I thought, I was in the latter camp where I was just like, it didn't happen. Nothing happened. And I wish it did. I'm going to say 4 stars. Am I really bad at this? I keep saying 4 stars.
Dang. I was in the latter one. I wanted the real lesbian subplot.
Oh my god.
I wanted it to happen. I gave it 2 stars.
2 stars?
I went in really kind of expecting a Freddy versus Jason silliness.
Oh my god.
And Sadako kind of hogged the whole movie. And Kayako wasn't... I loved all the scenes that Kayako was in.
Okay.
Justice for Kayako.
Actually, yeah, now looking back, based on our discussion, I should have, there was a lot of metagaming I could have done, but I didn't do it.
It's okay. It's okay. You got 2 more chances.
Incantation. Girl boss your way to scary goddess level in just one easy step by getting an entire town to fear you so much that you need to be locked away in a cave.
So this is definitely a positive review, because my review was making fun of the YouTubers for being so disrespectful to their elders.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to say this is a positive one. I don't think you like this movie as much as Ju-on, so I'm going to say that this is a 3.5-star review.
Oh my god, how'd you get that?
Oh my gosh, I'm
You're
so
right.
good.
Oh my
I'm so
god, 3.5 stars.
Wow.
That's wild. How'd you get that?
I don't know.
You might be psychic.
Oh my gosh.
You're psychic.
Wow. All right. This is one missed call.
Okay, one missed call.
I kind of mentioned this already, actually. I blanked out when I wrote this. So, what if you died in a very embarrassing way and it was one of the last voicemails you ever heard?
Oh my god!
Like, what if it wasn't even like a tragic way? What if it was like Elvis and you died on the toilet eating a sandwich?
Actually, that'd be pretty funny.
And you just hear like a bathroom toilet flush.
Would you die of embarrassment?
Literally.
Like,
yeah.
I would die of embarrassment. I would be so... No. Like, I think that's the true horror. Embarrassment.
Yeah. Everybody sees it.
Oh my god, no!
And he hears it.
That. No!
Before you even die.
No, I
so
don't
you
want
have to
that.
witness it.
No, I don't want that. This is hard. Okay, so I think that this is like average. This is like an average review. I feel like it's a 3.
It's a 3-star review!
Yes! Oh my god, we're getting so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yes!
Wow. We'll drink to that. Yeah.
Cheers.
We got
Cheers.
2 right.
We got 2 right. We're so good at this. This bottle was sponsored by Gavin Stenhouse. Thank you, Gavin.
Thanks, Gav.
All right, 13B. If the creepy family doctor had a musical number, I would have yelled.
Okay. I think we both relatively enjoyed this movie. I think we were talking about how the musical numbers felt like it was like a meta, like you're watching a TV show, you take a break, it's like a commercial break. However, my personal opinion of it was a little bit too long because of the musical numbers. So if the doctor also had one who was an awful person, well, we didn't figure out he was awful. What was his music number even be about? I don't know.
Like how much he hates the other family.
Like, would it be a musical number about how he's like plotting this whole scheme?
I was thinking, like, you know, in Hunchback of Notre Dame, what's the villain's name? Like the priest. He had his own like musical number. Yeah. And it was like dun dun dun, like the one that was like really epic. And it's like, I hate this woman and like, you know, want her to die or whatever. It's like that, but for the doctor. So that's what I was envisioning.
It's a gross musical number because he's pissed off that this woman who was already getting married didn't want to marry his brother. So I'm gonna say this is a 2.5-star review.
3.5 stars.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
I mean, I kind of know that musical number, but at the same time...
I mean, I do appreciate a musical number. Alright, my last one. This is for Tumbbad. This movie made me feel a lot of things. 1, a toxic but hot lead man. And the fact that I can't stop thinking about the fleshy bowels of the goddess.
So it did make you think a lot, and that's what art is. Art makes you think a lot. And if you kept thinking about those two things, then that must mean it's good art, right? Maybe? No? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to say 4 stars.
It was a 3-star review.
Oh my god, I keep saying 4, hoping that one of these will be a 4-star review.
It's the toxic man. He was so hot, but he was so annoying to me.
But it made you think.
It made me think, for sure. Sometimes I would have to rewind because I'm like, what is this gorgeous man saying to me? Oh, he's an actual douchebag.
I had a similar review for Versa.
Oh god, okay.
The prisoner /samurai/guy with no name who claims he was a feminist was hot, but don't date him.
Literally. The fact that these men are hot.
And he claimed that. He said he was a feminist,
and he
but
kept
he wasn't.
hitting
Yeah,
her.
he was not. It says a lot about people that are like that.
Yeah.
Because they exist.
So again, recency bias. This is the most recent movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take that into account. I think we liked this movie. It was probably one of the most chaotic movies, one of the most low budget, but it was good. But again, toxic men. They drive the rating down. I'm going to say that this is a 3.
It's a 4-star review.
Frick. The toxic man always drives it
But
down.
it makes you think.
About hot toxic men?
Do you really want to?
Would I?
If he's toxic, would you?
That's the worst
Probably
part.
not.
Probably not, but maybe.
He's hot.
He's hot.
But
And toxic men are good at tricking you.
they are, and that makes you think.
It does make you think. But I don't
And
know if
that's
that's
good art.
I don't know if that's art. Dang.
Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us on this chaotic ride. Thank you for watching this first season of Spooky Asian Club. This is very exciting for us. This is our first season, our first foray into podcasting. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen already, we have a Patreon. So we're trying to build up that community for as little as $4 a month. That is a soda at the movie theater. You can help support us, and we're trying to find more ways to do more interactive things like this. So if you feel the fancy to support Spooky Asian Club, feel free to check out the Patreon.
Yeah, and on top of that, we've seen a lot of movies this season. And so, what do you want to see next season of Spooky Asian Club?
Let us know what you want to see. And maybe we can make it like a Patreon exclusive thing where you can vote on our next movies.
Exactly.
And as always, don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe, and share this with a friend who may not be Asian, but appreciates spooky Asian things.
And remember, you can never run out of spooky Asian hypotheticals when you're listening to Spooky Asian Club.
Ooh. Bye.
Bye.
This episode of Spooky Asian Club was edited by Marcus Mays. Music was provided by Artlist. Spooky Asian Club's logo was designed by Andy Crisp, and the sustained life of this podcast is made possible from our creepy little Patreon members and listeners like you.